I was very lucky to be involved with that side as managing side and to go to Twickenham and to beat England again when England were racing favourites to win.
It's a very middle-class game in Britain. It's a big public school game. So Twickenham has a special aura, I believe, always, all its own, which is different from any other ground. And we went there, I think, with not a lot of hope.
England had beaten New Zealand the previous November in Twickenham, so they were red hot favourites. I remember we listened to the news the night before. Their manager, Jeff Cook, had said Ireland hadn't won there in 10 years, and he didn't seem to think that it was going to change.
And in many respects what happened at Twickenham that day, in my view, eclipsed what had happened at Lansdowne Road in 1993. Because we weren't given, you couldn't argue a strong case for Ireland to win it. They played out of their skins that day. I remember the front row and the forwards. And the England scrum half was Kieran Bracken, who of course was Irish, born in Skerries, declared for England, lived in England.
I suppose the biggest incentive was the fact that Kieran Bracken was playing for England, a fellow who'd been born in Dublin and decided to play against us, so we obviously targeted him that day.
But Ireland have done well so far.
There was an exchange of kicks earlier on, but the significant try of the game was scored by the Irish, and it was probably one of the best tries seen at Twickenham or anywhere else for quite a long time.
Little decoy run, it's Gallagher. Wallace has come in, Gagan's outside him, and here goes Simon Gagan. And Gagan goes for the corner, and Gagan is in, and Ireland are in front. That's what we came to see, and Simon Gagan has delivered with his 6th try for Ireland.
This is a man who was cruelly denied by injury and in some respects poor selection, Lions tours. This was, to me, the two great wings of Irish history are AJF O'Reilly on one wing and Simon Gagan on the other. And on that selection, I have no doubt. And that try, he destroyed Underwood, as he was due at Lansdowne Road again also. And Underwood, one of the great wings of English history, was simply destroyed by pace and evasion. It was an extraordinary try. It was a masterly demonstration of the winger's art.
For a couple of seasons before that, when the Underwood brothers were playing, the BBC director would cut up a shot of their mother going hysterical every time her baby boys touched the ball at all. And it's alleged that Simon Gagan, when he touched the ball down and scored the try, turned round to Mr. Underwood and said, "I hope your mother was watching that."
It's there for Bracken again. Diving pass for Andrew. Then Rudbar, thrown long to Callard. Kick for Tony Underwood. Gagan goes back and has got it. And has got away from his man. And away from his second man. Carling couldn't get him. And Gagan hoops it up the field. Back goes Andrew. It's Andrew against Gagan. Andrew has to go down. Gagan with him. And scratches him and tries to get the ball from him. And he get a penalty. Brilliant play by Simon Gagan, who's writing himself a headline as the man of the match.
To win matches, and particularly win matches at Twickenham against England, you need luck. And this is where we were lucky. Callard kicks ahead, and then Gagan catches it in front of us, literally almost in front of his own post. He then had no right to evade the tacklers who were coming up. Kicks ahead, and Andrew goes down on the ball and is smothered by Gagan. Now I think there was little doubt in most people watching that game the penalty should have been awarded against Gagan.
It was a vintage Gagan moment. I mean, poor old Gagan was probably one of the most starved, underused wingers of all time, like a lot of Irish wingers over the years. But he manufactured 3 points out of nothing that day. Like a lot of people, though, I would have to say that even the referee got swept away in the moment.
Sweetly struck. It's home. It's 13 points to 9.
I always find winning in Twickenham, it's like Cardiff. It's a very personal thing for all the Irish. You're paying back so many awful days because these days come so rarely.
On the 19th of February 1994, Ireland have secured their first victory at Rugby Union's headquarters since 1982.
And it was such an emotionally charged day that when they came into the dressing room, Neil Francis wasn't able to talk. But he saw Willie Anderson across the other side of the room and he just went, "You." In other words, that was for him, and that's all he could say.
It was described by winning English learners as the most sensational result in the history of the Five Nations Championship. As I reminded him, well, I wouldn't quite say that. After all, I said it was a back-to-back win.
Yes, you remember that. They played for it in April '88. It was the Millennium Trophy that England won on that day. by 21 points to 10. Michael Bradley has got it back.